What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and we have some very exciting news regarding Naked Brand Group stock, ticker symbol NAKD, and the recent merger that went through with Cenntro Automotive. This is really great news for the company. We're going to break it down. I know a lot of people are probably confused to see that their share counts are much lower on NAKD stock than they were yesterday, and that the price is much higher. So we're going to talk about all of that, the details, and we're going to start off by taking a look at the chart that we have right here. So you can see NAKT over the night ended up moving up massively in price. And you've probably noticed, if you were an NAKD shareholder, your share count is much lower. And that is because they did a 15-for-1 reverse split. They took 15 shares, crammed them all into one share, and raised the price by 15x as well. So immediately, you'll notice that this chart is actually looking a little bit negative. It looks like a lot of people have actually been selling some shares, and I have my own suspicions as to why. I suspect that a lot of people who were potentially less active investors and didn't know about the merger, potentially on Robinhood, who have been holding NAKD maybe for a long time, all of a sudden woke up and recognized that they had far fewer shares of this stock that they hadn't been keeping too much track of, and that the price was a lot more. They didn't know what the heck was going on. They may have noticed the name had changed, and they decided to sell out a little bit. Obviously, that's not all of the price movement that we're accounting for, right? It's not all retail who's confused, but that's surely having a bit of a negative impact on the price overall. But this is actually a very good change for the company. I think that Cenntro is an amazing company to merge with. We're going to talk about why in just a second, and we're going to actually explain, first of all, what they did. So what the heck happened with Naked Brand stock? So basically, they did a merger with Cenntro Automotive, and just yesterday on December 21st, Naked Brand Group overwhelmingly approved the acquisition of Cenntro Automotive. The shareholders voted, and 96.99% of the votes that were cast to go along with the merger with Cenntro. So it was a very popular decision. People are very excited to see the merger with Cenntro because it is such a promising EV company. So if you guys haven't heard of Cenntro before, you're about to hear about it now. I'm going to explain what they're doing, how they're forecast to grow in the future, what I think the stock price will do, and we're going to start off taking a look just very briefly at the market cap. Currently, it sits at $5.61 billion. So it's a fairly high market cap at this point, at least compared to what Naked Brand was at before. And now they will no longer be known as Naked Brand Group. They will be known as Cenntro Automotive, but they will be keeping the ticker symbol NAKD to go along with it. So they currently trade at a $5.6 billion market cap. Not the highest EV market cap, I'll point out. Tesla is trading at a much higher market cap. Lucid's trading at a much higher market cap. So is Rivian and NIO. All of those EV companies are trading at a much higher market cap than Cenntro, and understandably so. However, Cenntro has some key statistics behind them that are probably going to be pushing them up in the near future. And I will very briefly just point out the short interest is very low on Naked Brand. Not many people are shorting it. The short interest regarding the free float is only 1.84%, and I think that will probably decrease. You're already seeing a small decrease in the short interest today. I don't think people want to be shorting Cenntro. I think they realize that Cenntro is a very strong company, and they probably won't be shorting it for a while. So I do want to point out we currently have 8,591 subscribers to the channel. If you guys want more NAKD stock news, it will be covered on the channel. Feel free to subscribe. We're trying to get to 9,000, so we only need about 400 more subscribers. So feel free to join the family and do it. Down below, hit the subscribe button if you want. And I will point out that a lot of people are probably very confused about this NAKD Cenntro stock merger, because you can see the search interest on Google has shot up massively today. You're seeing record high search interest for NAKD stock, probably because a lot of people are confused about this merger, as it wasn't publicized all that well, right? It was kind of something you had to dig in the weeds to learn about, and all of a sudden people are probably noticing that they have far fewer shares, that the price of Cenntro is a lot higher, and they don't know what the heck is going on, so they're looking into it. Hopefully this video will help explain it to them. But you can also see that NAKD is the #1 trending stock on StockTwits, and also one of the most active, just below AMC and SPY. It's just barely in the #3 spot. So we are in the top 3 most active and trending on StockTwits. Impressive stuff. Now, for some of the statistics regarding Cenntro, why I think Cenntro will be doing incredibly well in the future, we're going to talk about that. First off, for those of you who don't know, Cenntro Automotive Group is an early pioneer in artificial intelligent autonomous driving and a lead designer of commercial electric vehicles. So they're actually the most impressive statistic that they've got, I think, is that Cenntro has sold and delivered more commercial electric vehicles than any other EV company. So take that in for a second. They have sold more commercial electric vehicles than Tesla, Rivian, Lucid, any other EV company, mainly because they focus on commercial electric vehicles, okay? So a lot of companies aren't doing that at the moment. Cenntro is, however, and they have this very impressive statistic under their belt, and it makes it surprising almost that they have such a small market cap compared to some of these other companies, considering that they are leading the way with commercial electric vehicles, which will surely be a massive industry in the future. And it's notable that customers have traveled more than 20 million miles in 26 countries in Centro's EVs, so another impressive statistic under their belt. Now, one of the best parts about Cenntro is that they are expected to have massive revenue growth, and we're going to talk about that. So in 2021, they're expecting $25 million worth of revenue. In 2022, they are expecting $506 million worth of revenue. So that's right, they're expecting to 20x their revenue year over year from 2021 to 2022. We're going to see 20x revenue growth if their expectations are accurate. And in 2023, they're expecting $2.1 billion worth of revenue. So once again, once they've 20x their revenue, they're then going to 4x their revenue. So Cenntro is a massively growing company. It's growing rapidly. At least they're projecting rapid growth, and we can already see some of that. And it doesn't hurt that Cenntro, upon closing this merger, is going to have $282 million in cash to hold in their accounts. They can use that to deliver vehicles, to construct vehicles, to market their vehicles, whatever they need. They've got $282 million in cash that they can spend. They don't even need to start taking out debt, and they could certainly do that with these revenue expectations. A lot of companies and banks are probably going to be very willing to lend to them, as they are in the EV space, which is incredibly hyped up at the moment. A lot of EV stocks are doing incredibly well. It wouldn't surprise me they could do a lot of different things to raise capital for themselves and end up getting these revenue numbers. And notably, they are expecting this $25 million of revenue with 1,500 vehicle sales in 2021. So keep in mind, 1,500 vehicle sales are expected in 2021, and they've already received an order for 2,000 more vehicles before 2021 has even ended. So they've already more than doubled their expectations. Now, whether or not they'll report these as sales in 2021 or probably wait until 2022 to report them for tax reasons is a different story, right? These will probably count as 2022 sales because that's when they'll be delivered. But these vehicles are going to Japan, and the end customers of these vehicles include Amazon's fleet, as well as Hana Cupid, but most importantly is Amazon's fleet in Japan. This is possibly Amazon testing out Cenntro to see if they make good vehicles, if they're useful, if they want to implement them potentially in the United States as well. So this is a small test run that Amazon is doing to see how Cenntro does. And it's very impressive that Cenntro is already delivering vehicles to companies as large as Amazon. That's an amazing business partner to have. So I think that Cenntro is looking at some very bright stuff in the future. We're probably going to see massive revenue growth. Once again, they already sold double what they were expected to sell in 2021, more than double, in fact. They were expecting 1,500 vehicle sales. They've already sold 2,000. They're well on their way to the 21,500 vehicle sales they're expecting in 2022. I think this company could grow massively. Now, obviously, we've seen a little bit of a dip right now, and we're going to have to see if that continues as more and more people start to look at their accounts and notice that Cenntro is trading at a much higher price and that people have far fewer shares than they had previously. We're going to see what happens with that. Obviously, some people are going to be scared or confused. Hopefully, this video can help explain what the heck is going on with Cenntro and why I think it's actually a really good thing for the company. So over the long term, I expect this company to be doing pretty darn good in 2022 and 2023, as long as they can meet their revenue expectations, as long as the earnings calls come back positive, which we'll have to see about. As long as those come back positive, I expect Centro's stock price to continue moving up. Now, other than that, guys, keep in mind, this isn't financial advice. I'm not recommending that anyone buy Cenntro stock or sell Cenntro stock. I'm just letting you guys know some of the information about it and sharing my opinion on it. So this is not financial advice. But if you want more of this type of news, more of these types of videos on Cenntro and NAKD, feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video down below. But other than that, guys, have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.